The atmosphere inside the arena felt heavy long before the first punch was ever thrown. This wasn't just another bout on the card, not another routine ranking fight meant to fill time before a main event. This was a moment suspended between promise and proof, between reputation and reality. On one side stood Japan's Naoya Inoue, red gloves raised, already carrying the weight of expectation that comes with being called special far too early. On the other side stood Jerson Mancio of the Philippines, blue gloves tight at his chin, a rank contender hardened by the belief that opportunity, once earned, must be seized with violence and conviction. The bell was about to ring, and with it came the question hanging over the ring. Was Inoue truly ready for the world, or was this where ambition finally met resistance? As the gong sounded to open the first round, there was no hesitation from Inoue. He didn't circle aimlessly, didn't waste time measuring the moment. Instead, he stepped forward with the quiet confidence of a fighter who already knew the answers he was about to give. The commentators immediately sensed it. This wasn't reckless aggression, but deliberate pressure, the kind that forces an opponent to react before they've even settled into the rhythm of the fight. Mancio, ranked just one spot behind Inoue, raised his guard and tested the distance with a probing left, but the tone was already set. Inoue was here to dictate, not to negotiate. In the build-up to this fight, there had been quiet concern about Inoue's emotional control. In his previous bout, the hunger to finish too quickly had betrayed him, leading to moments of unnecessary risk. He had admitted as much himself, acknowledging that the desire to make a statement had clouded his judgment. But now, in the opening seconds of round one, something looked different. His eyes were calm. His feet were grounded. He wasn't rushing toward a knockout. He was constructing one. Mancio tried to impose himself with wide, swinging punches, the kind often seen from Filipino fighters who trust power and grit as much as technique. One hook came looping in, another followed, each thrown with the intention of making Inoue feel something early. But Inoue read them effortlessly. He rolled with one, blocked another, and answered with short, sharp left that snapped Mancio's head back just enough to announce that this would not be a comfortable night. The crowd responded instantly, sensing the shift. This wasn't an exchange. It was a demonstration. The first truly telling moment came when Inoue dug a left hook into Mancio's body. It wasn't flashy, but it landed with a dull thud that echoed louder than any mishead shot. Mancio stiffened for a split second, and Inoue noticed. That was all he needed. From there, the combinations began to flow. Left to the body, right to the head. Left hook again, each punch placed with intention rather than desperation. The commentators spoke over one another, pointing out the precision, the balance, the way Inoue was already breaking down a man ranked second in the division. By the midpoint of the first round, Mancio found himself backing toward the ropes, his guard high, his movement limited. Inoue didn't smother him. Instead, he took half a step back, baited a response, and countered with a crisp right hand that cut through the guard. The idea of a first-round knockout suddenly felt real, not because Inoue was swinging wildly, but because every punch seemed to land with increasing authority. This was pressure with purpose. When the round ended, there was no doubt about who controlled it. Inoue returned to his corner composed, breathing evenly, listening intently. Across the ring, Mancio sat with his corner working urgently, already aware that the mountain in front of him was steeper than expected. The second round began with the same dynamic, but now the damage from the first was shaping every decision Mancio made. Inoue resumed his advance immediately, mixing levels with ease. A jab upstairs forced the guard high. A right hand split the defense, and then the left hook to body came again, deeper this time, more punishing. Mancio tried to answer back, throwing right of his own, and for a brief moment it looked dangerous. Filipino fighters are known for their reach and snap, punches that seem to land even when you think you're out of range. But Inoue anticipated it, sliding just enough to let the punch glance off before responding with short right that landed flush. The rhythm of the fight was now unmistakable. Inoue was in full control, not just physically but mentally. He was reading Mancio's reactions, adjusting his timing, stepping out at angles that left his opponent swinging at shadows. The commentators noted how planted Inoue's feet were, how every punch came from a solid base, a sign of maturity beyond his years. This wasn't the overeager prospect from before. This was a fighter enjoying the craft. Then came the moment that changed everything. Inoue slipped inside a wide punch and drove a brutal right hand into Mancio's body, followed immediately by a left hook upstairs. Mancio's knees buckled. He tried to step away, but the damage was already done. As Inoue followed with another combination, the referee moved closer, watching carefully. When Mancio finally went down, the arena erupted. It wasn't just a knockdown. It was a culmination of systematic breakdown. Mancio beat the count, rising with determination etched across his face, and to his credit, he tried to fight back. This was, after all, a man ranked second in the division, fighting not just for a belt, but for his future. But the knockdown had taken something from him. His punches lacked the same snap, his movement slowed, and in no way could sense it. He didn't rush. He let the round finish, knowing the real work was already done. By the time the third round began, the narrative had shifted from whether Inoue could win to how long Mancio could last. Still, there was respect in the way Inoue approached the round. He didn't underestimate the danger of a wounded opponent. Mancio swung hard, throwing everything into a few desperate punches, and one of them grazed Inoue just enough to draw attention. It was a reminder that complacency could be punished. Inoue responded the right way, tightening his guard, returning to body, and continuing to sap what strength remained. The body shots were relentless now. Lefts, rights, hooks, and straight punches all found their way to Mancio's midsection. Each one drew a visible reaction, a tightening of the elbows, a labored breath. The commentators pointed out how this was classic Inoue, breaking down an opponent layer by layer. It wasn't about chasing a highlight reel finish. It was about inevitability. Mancio showed heart, standing his ground longer than many expected, firing back when he could, refusing to simply fold. But heart alone wasn't enough. Inoue's combinations grew sharper, his timing more precise. He stepped into range, fired, stepped out, and reset, never giving Mancio a clean target. By the end of the third round, the damage was clear. Mancio's face showed swelling, his movement was compromised, and his corner knew they were running out of answers. As the fourth round began, Inoue looked like a man closing a chapter. He came forward with renewed intent, trapping Mancio near the ropes and unleashing a barrage that mixed head and body seamlessly. A right hand snapped Mancio's head back, a left hook followed, and then another crushing shot to the body forced him to stumble sideways. The referee watched closely now, aware that the end was near. Mancio tried to cover up, raising both arms, but the punches kept coming. Inoue found gaps, slipping shots through the guard, landing with precision that spoke to hours of discipline and training. The crowd rose to its feet as Inoue pressed the action, sensing the finish. When another clean right hand landed and Mancio could no longer defend himself intelligently, the referee stepped in, waving it off. The fight was over. Technical knockout. Inoue raised his arms briefly, not in wild celebration, but with quiet satisfaction. This wasn't just a win. It was a statement against a number 2 ranked contender. He had shown control, patience, power, and evolution. The commentators summed it up plainly. This was world-class performance. As the announcement echoed through the arena, naming Naoya Inoue the new Oriental and Pacific Boxing Federation champion, the significance of the moment settled in. This wasn't just another belt added to a collection. It was confirmation that Inoue's path toward the world stage wasn't built on hype alone. It was built on skill, discipline, and the ability to learn from past mistakes. Mancio, battered but unbroken, stood and acknowledged the crowd, earning respect for his toughness. He had come with belief and courage. And though it wasn't enough on this night, his role in revealing Inoue's growth was undeniable. Fights like this define careers on both sides, one as a launching point, the other as a measure of resilience. For Inoue, this victory felt like a turning point. The raw talent had always been there, but now it was paired with composure. The reckless urgency had been replaced by calculated violence. He had spoken for the fight about wanting to show a finishing right, and he delivered, not with a single punch, but with an entire performance that spoke louder than any promise. As the crowd filtered out and the lights dimmed, the question wasn't whether Inoue belonged among the elite. It was how soon the world would be ready for what he was becoming. This was more than a knockout. It was the arrival of a fighter who understood not just how to win, but how to dominate. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more dramatic, story-driven fight narratives like this one, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this performance proved Inoue was ready for the world stage, or did you see areas where he can still grow? Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive into boxing's most compelling moments.